we'll see if this is working. Hey. Right now, I'm just looking for the link, so if anyone's watching this right now, excuse me. How do I send this? Promise I've done this before. It's gonna be super exciting. I have to cut this out. Is this the right link? Hi folks. Hello. Just sending the word out. So right now there's not anyone in here, but there will be very, very soon. Aw, super professional. Okay. I think I got this. I swear I've done this before every time. Every time I always forget something. Alright, so now I just wait till the people come rolling in. And we go. Hi ITM31. Hello, hello. Is it showing up? Can you guys hear me okay? Had a few technical issues on my end. Hello, Hunnick Outcast. Oh, I recognize you. Hello. I get excited when I recognize names. Okay, is the volume okay for you guys? Loud and clear. Cool, cool. Clear as a bell. Awesome. Alright, so this is our the next live Patreon hangout. I'm going to call it a hangout instead of a Q&A, because, I mean, there's only so many questions you can ask, you know, and it really is just a hangout to be able to chat with you guys. And of course, you're welcome to ask questions, of course. But for people who are watching this on YouTube later, this is something that's presented for Patreon supporters, so they get to watch it live. If you want to help support the show, Patreon is a great place to do it. You get exclusives like early access to videos, usually about a week ahead of time. You get to see live Q&As or hangouts like this. You also get to help with viewer's choice, which is how I decide which movies I'm going to review next sometimes, and Patreon supporters get to vote for that. And other goodies like that. So if you want to support me there, it's patreon.com/movie nights. And that's my plug there. So how are you guys doing? Oh, someone from Sweden, huh? Were you the one that said, someone on Twitter said they had to wait till it was like 6 a.m. or something for them? Welcome to the stream. Where do I keep my Shrine to Scott Bakula? I got my, bunch of my, Quantum Leap stuff there. There's the dry lint portrait of the Dean Stockwell one over there. My greasy forehead down here. Riding out Hurricane Irma. Oh man, that's rough. I hope you're alright out there. Sending good vibes out for all the people during the hurricane right now. Yeah, once we get some information like about, you know, places we can donate to, I'll be tweeting that out. Making sure that the information's out there. Man, it is. Ugh. Where are you at, Hunnick? Are you in Florida right now? Or are you evacuated or somewhere near the hurricane? As I drink my sponsored drink here. Oh man, yeah, you're in Florida, huh? Ugh, stay safe. Man, that's scary. I don't know what is happening with the world right now. Man, like everywhere you turn, there's like a new natural disaster happening everywhere. Like every time I turn on the news, there's something going on. It's like the apocalypse is going on right now. It's scary times. Man, I'm hoping for the best for everyone in Florida and the states around them and the islands and Mexico and California and Houston. God, everywhere. Oh yeah. At least it's not global warming. Yeah, now is not the time to talk about it. Because it never is. Hey, Real Manos. Hey. Oh, thank you, Hunnick. You like the midnight screenings? I don't know what the next one I'm doing is. Whatever crummy kids movies coming out, I guess. I don't know what's coming out next. We don't have anyone planned. I'm going to see It today. Wasn't doing a video on it, but it's got really great reviews, so I'm hoping that I'll enjoy it as well. I really liked the music in the trailer. It looked really cool, so I'm glad that it's doing really well. I'm gonna be seeing that after the stream. Oh man, Robert, I'm glad you're okay. Writing out Harvey. Have I seen the Emoji Movie? I didn't see the Emoji Movie. I happened to be out of town when it came out, so I didn't see it for midnight screenings. I don't plan on watching it. I don't know. Maybe movie nights in the future, I guess, if people want that. It's like the day after tomorrow with a worse president. Yeah. Bad stuff. But yeah, the videos I'm working on right now, Mikhail's Navy is going to be the next one, I think. That one's so hilariously bad. It's got so many actors I really like in it, and some actors that are very iffy. And of course, Dean Stockwell's in it, which is why I ended up revisiting it. But I do remember this being on TV a lot. But I'm going to be doing a video on that, and then I think that's when I'm going to start Halloween stuff, because I got so many that I want to do this year. I think I'm going to start them early in September. That's going to be really fun. I also have a copy of the new Baywatch movie, which if you guys didn't see the vlog, I have seen it, but I'm going to be doing a Baywatching on it. I might do it as a double feature with the 100th episode of Baywatching, because that's coming up really close. So, I'm going to be doing that. So I haven't forgotten about the movie. The second movie. Let's not forget the reunion movie. The true Baywatch movie. My hair's looking funky here. It looked so nice. And it kind of fell out and did something weird. Oh, you were watching the Puss in Boots review? That was fun to do. It was hard to sit through, though. That cat, the William Shatner cat. Oh, I have books. Where's Ash? She's sleeping on the floor. Come here, kitty. Oh, she never likes being held. Oh, big complainer. Look at that. The audience wants you. Clamoring for your attention. Look at that little star. She's so sleepy. I should dress up as Phoebe for Halloween. Well, then I'd just be wearing a skimpy outfit, wouldn't I? Well, thank you about my hair. Thank you. I know it's a typo, but I kind of find it funny. It's Shatner is shattered. Black and red equals female cat. Yeah. It's weird. There's like male tortoiseshell cats is apparently a rare thing. I find that so weird. You gonna hang out on my lap? Okay. She's got a weird patch on her back from where she had some mats. I had to cut them out. I couldn't comb them, so now you just look like a big weirdo. Big old goofball. So you guys excited for Halloween? I know I am. I just keep talking about it. I love Halloween. I can't decide. I think Halloween's beat out Christmas for me. I think that's my favorite. Hello, Daniel from Austria, huh? People from all over. Male tortoiseshells are sterile? Oh. And for people who aren't reading the chat when this comes up later, like, they're gonna be like, what? Bouncing all over the place. Forgive me if I'm repeating a lot of what you guys are saying. This is for the benefit of people later. Aw, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna get more in the Halloween spirit by going to see it today, so... Yeah, I heard Halloween's not a big thing in the UK, though I think they're trying to make it more of a thing. Like, kids are like, I want free candy. I want to have fun. Is it, I want free candy. I want to have fun. It's my little British child impression. It just sounds like Matthew, doesn't it? He's just like a little Oliver Twist, all of us. You Clown on Netflix. Yeah, I've heard of that one. I was kind of interested. Just because the body horror element. You guys seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space? I saw that one fairly recently. It used to be on Sci-Fi Channel a lot, and I'd be too scared to watch it. And it's not that it's because it's clowns. The clowns can be creepy. It's just it's the uncanny valley element of it, because they're like, they got the big puppet faces, and the body horror stuff where they're like putting people in the cotton candy, or the shadow puppets that eat the guy. They're so creepy to me. But I saw it because John Allen Nelson stars in it, the guy who his court on Baywatch, and I didn't know that was him. So I was like, well, I gotta watch it now. He was great in it. I mean, he's great in everything. Man, that guy's so charismatic. It was weird seeing him in a role where he's not shirtless at all. The guy's ripped. Like, he's shirtless and everything. For the 100th episode, face your greatest fear, Jerry. Well, for Baywatching, it wouldn't make a lot of sense. You don't do Halloween in France very much. Yeah, I never really thought about, like what Halloween is like in other countries. I think in Canada it's pretty comparable, but I don't know about other places. I'm sponsored by Pepsi, yeah. My save. Yeah, I have a terrible sleep schedule, so I just got up not that long ago. It's good to have some caffeine. And I don't like coffee at all. I know that's weird, but I don't like coffee. If it's like a hint of coffee flavor in something, I'll like it okay. Hanik, you saw Killer Clowns in theaters? That must have been an experience. Sweden recently got Halloween. Oh, that's cool. You dress up as witches for Easter? What's that about? I want to learn about this. Why do you dress up as witches for Easter? Is that a Swedish thing, or your family's just weird? Hi, adrenaline shots. Oh, Danny. Hey. How's it going? Do you call the night before Halloween the night before Halloween? I don't have a name for it. Jerry for the 100th episode of Movie Nights? Oh, gosh. Goodness gracious. That movie's so boring. I don't know what else I could say about it. There's only so many ways you can say that it's boring. I mean, like, nothing happens. There's a 7-minute shot of them just walking away from the camera. Pretentious nonsense. You know, they use like 7 deserts or 4 deserts, something like that, for that movie. Multiple deserts for that boring, lame ass movie. Easter are when all the witches congregate at Blackula to eat babies and make evil plans and kiss the devil's butt. Are you messing with Blackula? Blackula. I'm fucking this up. Oh, there goes my ad revenue. Not appropriate for 5-year-olds. Sorry. I'll be sure to buy a 5-year-old a car and make up for the ad revenue I lost from them. Have I considered reviewing the Andy Sedaris films? Oh man, yeah. I want to. I always just keep not getting around to. I want to do Hard Ticket to Hawaii because that one's a classic. I have the pack that has all of them. I think Girls, Guns, and G-Strings. It's got Roller Gator on it too, because of course it does. I don't remember why Andy Sedaris is packaged with Roller Gator, but there you go. But I want to do Hard Ticket to Hawaii. Andy Sedaris was your cousin? Really? That's interesting. Devil's Night or Mischief Night? I haven't seen those ones. I've seen his, like, the chick flicks. Or I guess they wouldn't be chick flicks. Whatever, the ones with the girls in the bikinis and they're spies or something. I thought that was all he did, but did he do horror? Do I think the influx of patrons is because of YouTube's demonetization? Yeah. Heck yeah, it was. And if any of you guys just decided to support me because of that, thank you. I mean, thank you to everyone, of course. But, I mean, for people who don't know what's going on, YouTube has implemented a new automatic flag system for things that they deem are inappropriate for all advertisers. So it doesn't mean they're demonetized completely, although some of them are, but not as many. But if they have deemed that it is not appropriate for all advertisers, it gets this yellow $ next to the video, and this has been rolling out and affecting a lot of people. And it just sort of seems arbitrary. It's a lot of like keywords, titles of like horror movies, or for some reason food videos seem to have gotten a lot of flags. It's confusing. The only really solid criteria that they've given us is that it should be appropriate for 5-year-olds, which is silly. But this is their way of trying to get back the advertisers after the boycott. So it affected me about 200 of my videos, and since it happened, I've gotten over 50% of those released. So right now I've got about 80-something videos that are still affected by it. But I don't want you guys thinking like this is really like hurting me in a huge way. I do lose ad revenue, but I'm not struggling to make the rent or anything. So thank you very much for supporting me, but if this is something that is not, like it hurts you financially, like you need to focus on bills, or if you want to be donating to victims of the hurricane or any of the other natural disasters going on, please do that. I don't want you to feel like, you know, I'm in desperate need right now. But if you want to keep supporting me, that's great too, so thank you. I'm still getting ad revenue, it's just limited in some capacities, and I am working on getting a lot of those released, so that's all the stuff going on with that. Catch up on what's going on in the chat here. Sorry, it was a long spiel there. Oh, Hanik was saying he was at Andy Sedaris' house. Ooh, if you have stories, please do tell me. I'd love to hear them. And Daniel, yes, the advertiser review playlist, I think it has helped. It's gotten some released. It's sort of gone to a standstill right now, but I do think that it helps, so thank you for anyone who's been playing the review playlist in the background. For people who don't know, I created a playlist of all the videos that are still on limited ad revenue, the ones that haven't been confirmed from the review, because basically YouTube's they've set some sort of rule that it has to get 1,000 views within a 7-day period for them to review it, because they've gotten so many review requests, because this has just been a huge mess for them. So I think having this playlist has helped, and other people have set up playlists of their own as well, like Lewis set up one, Phelan set up one, Matthew, quite a few. So if you're worried about a person on YouTube that you follow, check their playlist, because they might have created a similar thing that you could play in the background if you think that might help and you don't really have extra money to spare or whatever. Danny says, I was in Denmark one year in a creepy hotel, and outside the window there was literally hundreds of people burning a Wicker Man type effigy. Ooh, that'd be creepy. Ugh. Yeah, just finished watching both Wicker Mans. The first one had some creepy stuff in it. I didn't like the movie, but it had some creepy stuff in it. Nicolas Cage Wicker Man was hilarious. Sorry, I'm way behind on the chat. I'm just catching up on what people are saying. Yes, Robert, Hard Ticket to Hawaii was the one with the anaconda in the toilet at the end that gets blown up by a rocket launcher. It is tremendous. A hilarious movie, and I love the theme song to that, too. Ticket to Hawaii. Yeah, I keep saying I gotta do that one and then forgetting. I really do need to do that one though. If I do none of the other Andy Sidaris films, I want to do that. And I heard that Brad was thinking about that as well. I don't know if he's put that on hold while the ad revenue situation's going on, but yeah, those movies are great. What movies are my Halloween must watch? I don't have like specific ones that I watch every year. Um, I love watching The Frighteners, Silver Bullet, Halloween Town. I might revisit the Friday the 13th ones this year. I haven't watched those in a while. I love Halloween 4 and 5. And I know those aren't the most popular ones, but those are the ones that like AMC would show on their like Monster Movie Fest a lot, so those are the ones that I would see the most. But I just really like Jamie as a character. I really like the little girl and the aspect of her trying to live a normal life. I don't know, I just find that relationship very intriguing. Even though the movies are a little bit of a mess, but I like them. And I like her relationship with her. I don't know if it's her sister or her stepsister or whatever. I don't know. The older girl that's taking care of her and her friend as well. Real Manos. The AdSense boycott killed my channel. I used to make $3 and now I make $2. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I hope it works out. I feel like once they get the advertisers back, once they figured out how to sort out the people on YouTube that are really giving everyone else a bad name, I think things will start evening out. I think just right now it's just a mess. Ash doesn't Ash doesn't get her fancy feast. No, she gets fancy feast. I know you were joking, but I do give her fancy feast as a treat, and she gets in a mode where she thinks she's gonna get it every day. Little princess. Get myself caught up. I'm way behind in what you guys are talking about. You're responding to things that I talk about and then I get to it later because I'm still on the older stuff. Malibu Express, the first in the Sadara series. Yeah, it was weird though. It was weird compared to the other ones because it was just a straight up like sex comedy, and the other ones are like, I mean, the other sexy girl comedies, but they're kind of like action oriented with spies and stuff. And it was focused on the girls. But from what I remember, Malibu Express. Sorry, my connection appears to be really bad right now. I hope it's not affecting the stream too bad. But Malibu Express focused on a guy, I think. And then after that, they were like, no, we need to get the sexy ladies in. Night of the Living Dead, yeah. Oh, we're talking about Halloween must-watches. I know I did a video plugging it, and I swear I'm not doing this just because, like, they wanted a plug. Like, I do really enjoy their stuff. But, Here Lies, HERELIES, their YouTube channel, they do, Halloween, companion videos, that are, like, 6 hours of just Halloween stuff. From like the 80s and 90s, and they have commercials in them that are all Halloween themed, so they're all just old nostalgic Halloween stuff, and I love watching those. And they made 2 of those, and a Christmas one as well, and I love those, and I love watching them. They have like music videos, and The Simpsons, and Night of the Living Dead is one of them. Really fun stuff, and they make those for like donations to their site and stuff like that. I did a video about it, but anyway, that's really fun because it makes me feel like I'm a kid again and amplify it, because when I was a kid, I mean, Halloween was never as cool as what I'm watching on there. And I have a tape of the Saturday Night Live Halloween best of, and that's really fun too. I think I'm almost caught up to the stream, yeah. Can you guys still hear me okay? It said the video settings are really bad right now. Do I think Halloween should have stayed on the Halloween 3 path instead of going back to Michael Myers? No, I like Michael Myers. I mean, I don't know if they need to, like, continue a bunch of them, but I mean, I enjoyed following the story. And I do enjoy long series because when they're following a narrative, you get some really crazy ideas and people try to interpret their own version of this established thing, and I always found that interesting. So, there's some Halloween sequels that are hilarious. Like the one with was it Resurrection was the one that had Tyra Banks and they're in like the reality show in the Myers house. Trick or treat, motherfucker. Hilarious. Alright, you guys can hear me. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's giving me like bad video settings right now. So, as long as you can hear me, sorry if the video looks crummy. I don't know how to fix that. They're doing a new Halloween movie? Alright. Is it like a sequel, or are they doing another reboot? I'm one of the few people who didn't mind the Rob Zombie Halloween. The Halloween 2 that he did was just crap. I mean, that was a miserable movie. But the first one that he did, I appreciated he was doing his own thing with it. I mean, I do like the original one better, of course, but I mean, like, as far as doing its own thing, I thought it was decent. The reboot? Alright. We'll see. Maybe Phelan will do a video on it. Maybe we'll be watching that. Anytime there's a popular reboot of a horror series, he gets lots of requests. One of my favorite horror films of the past 10 years? I don't know. I don't like a lot of modern horror. I loved Get Out. That was really good. I like Zombieland. I don't know if that's in the last 10 years. Shaun of the Dead, that's probably older than 10 now. That's how often I go to see new horror movies. Ooh, Krampus. Krampus was good. Trick or Treat. I think that's within the last 10 years. That was really good. The anthology, not the 80s one. That's a little older than 10. If I was gonna review some of the Anthony Hopkins, I'm assuming you mean Perkins movies, like Edge of Sanity. I don't think I will. I did just cover I'm Dangerous tonight. For those of you who didn't see that, that's still up on Patron for you guys. I think, yeah, that's the first one that I've covered of his. I want to talk about Psycho 2, because I love Psycho 2, and that's one of the Halloween ones that I've got planned. But Edge of Sanity, I don't think I'm going to cover. I watched it, and I wanted to like it, but it just felt like it never really could figure out what it was. For people who haven't seen it, Edge of Sanity is... It stars Anthony Perkins. It's from 1990 or 89, and it's about Jack the Ripper. Oh no, it's Jekyll and Hyde, but interpreted like Jack the Ripper, which sounds like an interesting concept. But it's just sort of confused and not terribly fun. Like, a lot of it's just him slinking out and murdering hookers and rinse and repeat. I did like that some of it was anachronistic. Like, they have all of the... It's set in the 1800s, I believe. And all of the prostitutes are dressed like they're, like, in a Madonna music video or something. And occasionally they'll have, like, the bright red or blue lighting. And his lab has got, like, a tile in it and things that are really purposefully anachronistic. But they don't set it up in a way that makes it seem as thought out as it should be. Like, I can tell they did it on purpose, but it doesn't seem that purposeful. Like, if it had just been anachronistic when he became Hyde, Or if maybe they'd had like some 80s synthesizer music to go along with some of that, or done some trippy music video type sequences or something. I feel like if they'd just gone for it, it would have been really fun. But as it was just kind of miserable. Anthony Perkins was great in it though. He's a great actor, and I thought he put a lot into it. I wish that it worked out for him. You know, I know that he got typecast in a lot of things after Psycho, but I mean, like, to have a big theatrical release like that, where he's headlining it and it's not a Psycho sequel, I wish that the movie had been better and done better. Babadook. I didn't see it. I still haven't seen it, but I should. Yeah, Psycho 2 was great. It got such a bad rep. You know, it really shouldn't have worked, but it did, and that's what I love about it. I mean, like, it's really like a movie that was not necessary in the slightest, but they make you root for him, and I love that. So I want to talk about that around Halloween, and also the Bates Motel pilot that they did in the 80s, because that movie is a mess. Are there any more Olsen movies, Olsen twins movies in the queue? Yeah, I've got like a whole big pile of them, but I don't have anything filmed right now because I do those with Phelan. He hasn't visited here in a while because I went to see him in Canada last. So, yeah, we're going to do more of those triple features because those are really fun and they always do really well. But just whenever he visits next. Thunder in Paradise reboot with John Cena? No. No. I really enjoy Thunder in Paradise, but it's a product of its time, and it could only be a Hogan product, really. I don't think it would have quite the same magic if it didn't. I don't know if I need to edit how this stream is going because it's still giving me I'm so bad with tech stuff. It's telling me about keyframe frequency, but I don't know how any of that stuff works. It's just the quality is suffering. Advanced settings? I don't know. Poo poo. Be keeping up with OSW. I've fallen behind a little bit. I gotta catch up though, because I love those guys. Old School Wrestling Review. Those guys are great. They're really fun, and they always give interesting history about wrestling. The 6th of December is Finnish Independence Day? Cool. I'm glad I can have my birthday on such a momentous occasion. Your wife's favorite thing... my wife's favorite thing in your crossovers is when Phalis gets mad and knocks over the movie's box. Yeah, he gets really annoyed at something, he'll do that. He hates little annoying little kid movies especially, so that's why the Mary Kate and Ashley ones always are so funny. I love making him watch them because they're so nostalgic for me. Like I used to watch them all the time. I loved Mary Kate and Ashley. I had Billboard Dad, which is another one that I rebought so we could revisit. I would watch like the You're Invited series and their detective series, and I had a friend who was part of the fan club, and I was so jealous. She would get cool things and posters and coins and stuff. Any Radu reviews for Halloween? You know, I might. I got an idea for one, so maybe. Keep an eye out for him. He's been kept away in the closet for a couple years now, or a few years, and it's about time to bring him back out again. Seems that's the cycle I go through with him. OSW's doing TNA right now? Cool. You know what the thing is? I love OSW, but I always gotta set aside like a couple hours to watch their videos because they're so long, and like I'm always just busy with stuff, and I don't want to pause it in the middle of it. I want to like take the time to watch it, but yeah, I gotta catch up. I think I was caught up at one point. I don't know how many videos I gotta catch up with, but I will. I used to work out when I was watching their stuff. I'm like, oh, all these wrestlers are in such good shape. I gotta get in shape. I guess I just gotta take a lot of steroids. Maybe I'll get in the same shape as them. Raddy reviews Twilight. I don't know if it's gotten to the point yet where like Twilight is okay to review again. I feel like so many people did it. I don't know if it's turned around again, where it feels like there's something fresh to say. Though the first movie is very funny. My opinion on the new Twin Peaks series. Since it just came out, I'm not going to spoil anything. But, like, I get so impatient when I watch stuff, especially things with a slow pace, that sometimes I have to tell myself to be patient with something if it feels like there is an intent with the slow pacing. So I was with the new Twin Peaks series for quite a while until after 18 hours had passed, it just became really insufferable. There were some really genius things in it, though. I would say about 10% of it was genius. Like, there's episode 8 was unique television that I have not seen in anything else. It was really interesting, and there was some really creepy imagery in it. And some of the music cues I thought were really great. There's a specific song they use, I'm not sure what song it is, with Diane, and I think over the other Cooper as well, that was really creepy. They have some interesting characters and some good performances. I can't with the pacing of it, and I never really felt like it got to the point where it left the second act. It felt like it just stayed there, and it could have been cut down to like 4 episodes that would have been really solid. And I don't know if it ever really felt like Twin Peaks again. Like, maybe near the end. It just felt like David Lynch and like some of his other movies. Like, I think Lost Highway was very much like that. Have I watched Glow? Yeah, I loved Glow. Glow was really fun. Before we watched it, I watched it with Phelan, and before we watched it, we watched the documentary about the actual Glow TV show. And until the show came out, I'd never heard of it, and I thought that was really interesting. And I was glad we watched the documentary before we watched the show because the show does pull from things that happen in real life, but they do interpret it in their own way, so they're not tied to things that happened, so they can do their own kind of stories. But it's interesting to see what they changed. One of the things I love about Lynch is that he challenges me. I've disliked some of his films only to later love it. I hated Lost Highway at first and later fell in love with it. That's fair. I felt that way with Blue Velvet. I hated it, but I didn't really watch the whole thing because I don't like things that are largely interpretive. Like, I don't like kind of artsy films, and a lot of Lynch's films are like that, where people kind of speak cryptically and don't act like people do, and I would much rather have a more straightforward narrative. As an ambulance comes by. So Blue Velvet was a little bit difficult, but once I actually sat down and watched all of it, I did appreciate it more, and I do really enjoy it now, and I think that's probably one of his more straightforward films. Dean Stockwell was fantastic in it. His performance was the best in the movie. They're coming to get me, yeah, I know. Is the video really cruddy? I know the sound seems to be okay. The video looks great. Okay, it keeps telling me the settings are bad. It's like it's all red and making me think that it's bad. Let's see. Can I change the settings here so it won't tell me that anymore? Well, Clippy all over again. I love Clippy jokes. Never gets old for me. What a useless pile of crap. This nostalgic Clippy. It's Clippy for some people. How do I edit keyframe frequency? Can anyone explain this to me kind of simply? I'm a simple person. Because I feel like that'll help, because that's what it's telling me, but I don't know. Some good streaming content. It's not Clippy for some people. Stream health? What is that? Health? What a weird way to word it. I don't know how to fix it. Well, hopefully it's not too bad for people that it's Clippy for. Yeah, real Manos, I hear ya. I don't know. The thing is too, like, I do these things, like, I'll do streams, but then I'll immediately forget everything that I did. Like, I'm not tech savvy at all. Hiya, Corey. I did talk about it a little bit. I'm going to see it after the stream today, so I'm hoping that I enjoy it because it looks great. When I finish Baywatch, has there been another series I considered covering? Yeah. Well, I'm going to do Thunder in Paradise because I have an English copy now, and it is fantastic. It's like 10 times dumber than Baywatch. Hilarious. I enjoyed it so much. They have an episode where they go to an underwater jail called Sea Quentin. Hilarious. There's one where Hulk Hogan surfs on a wall of a prison, like a stone wall. Like, he gets broken out and then he's on the wall in the water surfing on it as if that is a surfable material. I love that show. Yeah, I'll talk about that. Maybe VIP. I've been looking around at Sheena. I did not see The Straight Story. That's what he did with Disney? Did he direct it or was he acting in it? I know he did some acting where he wasn't directing it. Will I do a live stream at New Year's Eve again? Maybe. It was fun last year. I might. I can't say what my plans are this far ahead of time, but it felt like everyone kind of needed that lift, and this year's been just rough, so yeah, could be fun. Brad really liked it. Doug and Rob weren't thrilled. Well, that means I'll probably enjoy it because Doug and Rob are idiots, so I don't know what good movies are. Where'd I get Thunder in Paradise? Matthew recorded it from me because it was, for some reason, recently re-airing in the UK. So I was able to get a hold of it there, except for one episode, but I might be able to get it through some other means. I wish I could buy them in English legally. I have a copy of it in German or something, but they don't have the English track in it. So I mean, I have bought it, but other than like the movies where they edit together a couple episodes, the English ones I have to get them illegally, which is a bummer. But I do have them. Will there be a vlog about it? I don't think so. I don't really feel like I need to. Yeah, Tim Curry was great in the It miniseries. Yeah. Though, I mean, like, I feel like they can do their own interpretation of it. I'll have to see what it actually is like. But from what I've heard, I mean, they did a great job with it. So, I mean, if you can get a remake and get people behind it and a current horror movie as well, they probably did a pretty good job. It's a big feat. Big feat. Just like clowns. You know, someone pointed this out, and it is pretty true. The portions of the Tim Curry miniseries that involve the adults are not as strong as the kid stuff. Like, kid stuff's got some creepy stuff in it, but the stuff with the adults, well, it does have some stuff that's interesting. A lot of it can be kind of boring. So, but I still really enjoyed it. I mean, obviously it's long because it's a miniseries, but I still really liked it. I hadn't seen it until a year or two ago, actually. It's my first time watching it. How much money do I make on Patreon versus YouTube? I make most of my money on Patreon. So, I mean, again, like, people who are worried about the YouTube revenue situation, like, it hurts a little bit, but I mean, revenue's been down because of the boycott anyway, so actually it's probably a little bit better now that they are getting some people back. Um, but I never made most of my money on YouTube, so I would say about a fourth of it is from YouTube, and the rest of it's from Patreon. So that's how that goes. Yeah, it coming out around the same time as Stranger Things. You know, I thought of that exactly, and not just because it has one of the kids from Stranger Things in it, but you know that 80s, or I guess the It miniseries was kind of early 90s, but it still has that feel of like, you know, 80s horror adventures with kids. I mean, that sort of, people are really nostalgic for that right now, and so I think that hit around the same time, the right time. Um, Even though it was set in the 50s and the kids stuff, it still feels like an 80s thing. And a lot of Stephen King's best work just hit right around in the 80s, so. You're amazed people managed before Patreon? Me too. Because let me tell you, it was tough. From the pre-Patreon days were kind of rough. Sorry about my neighbors. They're kind of loud right now. They're in the hallway. They'll leave. But yeah, making money on Blip was rough. I had to have all like the mid rolls in there that everyone was annoyed with. It was a completely different time. What do I think of the Stranger Things trailer for season 2? It was awesome. I love they used Thriller in that. So cool. Man, I love Stranger Things, so I'm excited for season 2. And it's gonna be coming out around the spooky time of year. I haven't seen Maximum Overdrive. So, I don't know. I don't know if I'm a fan. I haven't seen it. It feels so long ago. Yeah. Everything feels like ancient now. Time moves so quickly in videos. I look at like old ones of mine. I'm like, oh, that wasn't long ago. Oh, it was like 6 years ago. All right. It Follows has an 80s feel, even though it kind of takes place in the present. Yeah, I've read about, I haven't seen it, but I like on Tumblr, I have a lot of friends who've watched it, and so I see posts about it a lot. But I was reading this thing where the director wanted It Follows to not feel like a specific time period, so they had like things from just pulled from different times. Like there's a like a Kindle reader or something like that that one of the girls has, but it's in like a compact or something, like a thing that doesn't exist but kind of feels like a mesh of 80s and present. So I find that interesting, and a lot of the best horror that has come out has been throwbacks. Um, I think because, I mean, a lot of the new horror stuff is forgotten what was really effective about horror. Like 80s was like a peak time for the genre, and I feel like they're just now kind of getting the feel back. I still haven't quite gotten behind it, but I feel like they're figuring out what's gonna work and what's just PG-13 jump scare horror movie for kids. Yeah, I should watch It Follows. It's another one that looks good and gets recommended a lot. YouTube is 10 years? Are you asking if it's been around 10 years? I think it's been longer than that. I think maybe 2005 or 6? Gosh, I've been doing videos for 8 years now. Yeah, 2009. You know what? Like October will be the 8-year anniversary, I think. Yeah, yeah, 8-year anniversary. God, so young, so young then. I was 19, young and dumb. You've heard It is even better than The Bye Bye Man. Man, what a dumb movie that was. Oh, that audience was the worst. If you didn't see the midnight screenings we did on it, it was just full of kids that would not shut up. We got free passes at the end. Police were called. It was awful. All right, Danny, have a good dinner. Have a good weekend as well. Bye. Just saying bye to Danny. 90s and 2000s were rough periods in horror. Yeah, it really is. You get some funny ones, but yeah, there's some really kind of stinkers, especially early 2000s remakes. There's a very distinct pattern about them that's awful. They do them now still too, but the 2000s were particularly bad about it. YouTube was 2005. Yep. Do I publish videos in the same order as I shoot them? Um, usually I'll film one and then I'll edit it. I don't usually have a huge backlog unless Phelan's visited, and then we shoot a bunch of them at once. And then I'll release them as I go. Usually they're the order I shoot them. If there's like a shorter thing that I've shot, like a food video, or like real quick I wanted to give an update or something, like sometimes those go up before I've done the other ones. I think maybe I rearranged the order a little bit around the time I did the 50th episode, because I had to make sure it landed on 50 there. But otherwise, usually the order isn't too big of a deal. Do I follow any other review channels besides Brad and Phelan? A lot of my old friends from Channel Awesome, I mean, they're still my friends, not I've known them for a long time. Like, I'll follow them. Like, I watch Mike J's videos. He's hilarious. Todd's videos, Matthew's, other YouTube channels. They are on YouTube, though. I guess they have their own site. But my brother, and me, I've been big into that. I listen to all their 370 episodes, a ridiculous amount, but they're really good for background. I follow Comment Etiquette. That's a channel that's really funny. Yeah, so there's a handful. Am I excited for Nut Job 3? Is there really going to be a Nut Job 3? Don't play with my heart. Is there going to be a Nut Job 3? I'll wait for the answer. If I considered covering any of the full moon softcore schlock like Femme Alien, maybe. Full moon's so hit and miss. Because they have some fantastic stuff, like Subspecies is amazing. But when Full Moon doesn't care, like, it's really obvious. Like, they can go for just some, like, lowbrow, lazy humor that's just, like, not fun. Like the Ginger Dead Man series, Evil Bong, stuff like that. So it depends on what it is. I haven't seen Femme Alien. Dustlicious. The line of the year. Nut Job 2 is everything I could have ever hoped it would be. March of the Penguins, Fury Road. Man, I hope you guys are having a good week. I know it's been terrible, but I hope things pick up. I guess that's what I should say. I hope things pick up for people, because there's been a lot of rough stuff to deal with. How long does a typical episode take you to write, shoot, and edit? I try not to spend more than a week on something, like a movie nights. Baywatching's a lot quicker. Baywatching, usually it's a data script. I'll usually do 4 at once, so I mean one day for each one. A data script, another day and a half to record and edit. Movie nights, I take a day or two to write notes on it, and then I'll shoot it, and that takes probably about an hour, less than an hour. 4 or 5 days to edit, depending on how quickly I go. Any particular themes or things you would like to see in Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 3? Sincerity. I would love to see some sincerity in it, because, man, this is one too. Here's what happens. I'll get really behind something and I'll be excited about it, and it's like a slow realization about where things are going. Like, you got to give something a chance, and then when you realize like it's not really going anywhere, then it starts to sour the whole thing, and like the things that you liked before you don't, because it didn't amount to anything. It's kind of been like that with Ash vs. Evil Dead, which is really a shame, because I really wanted it to be great. Evil Dead 2 is my favorite movie, but I don't know if it's ever really gotten to where I want it to be. It just feels like very hollow, and I don't like the really bro-y persona that they have with the whole thing. Like, it feels skeezy. Like, I don't... This sounds like a, I don't know, feminazi thing to say or something, but I don't feel like it's very respectful toward women. It just feels skeezy. And especially their advertising. I hate their advertising. They're so douche bro-y. It's obnoxious. Like, the whole, like, Ash for President campaign, and they were, like, giving people free condoms and stuff. And that was even skeezier than the show, really. Don't get me wrong, there are some really funny things in Ash vs. Evil Dead, and there are some creepy things. And I feel like there's been some elements that if they'd expanded on, I would have liked. I liked that they had Cheryl back. That was a really neat moment. Joel Tobeck as the villain, like, he was really creepy when he first showed up. He was fantastic. But overall, as a series, it's just been... I'm just pulling for something. Hopefully they turn it around, but we'll see. I would just like them to be more earnest with stuff and less try hard. Your vids, Brad's, and Phelan's make my day. Aw, thank you. Well, that's so nice to say. Is there a process you go through choosing something that would make a good movie nights episode? Just if I'm watching it and I think that it's funny. If I don't think I have anything to say about it, then I'll just not do anything about it. I have a pile of movies that I'm like, okay, I could do something about it, and then they'll sit on my shelf, and then if I decide to do it, I'll do it. Just if I enjoyed it, if I feel like I have something to say about it. Usually if it's funny, but I mean, I've been covering some ones that aren't bad. They're actually pretty good, and I feel like maybe they aren't discovered or aren't given the right chance or something like that. Gonna binge all 3 of your guys' stuff after the live blog. Thank you. Ash versus Evil Dead, Ash comes off as one-dimensional. Yeah, that's one of my big issues. Um, I'm probably more into TV than movies, to be honest, because when you have a TV show, you're able to develop the characters a bit more and experiment with things, and you get to really dig in deep and get to know these characters. And when it feels like you're just scratching the surface, I don't find that as enjoyable. And it's, you don't have to go super deep with Ash, but I mean, in the movies, at least there was some humanity there. Um, there was some serious moments. He was stupid and kind of a jerk, but he wasn't like just an asshole all the time. I've not seen Gravity Falls or American Gods. See, when I say I'm really into TV, I don't watch any of the popular stuff people have seen. If it doesn't have a 20-year vintage, chances are I haven't watched it. I mean, I've talked about some of the recent ones I've been watching. Like, I watched Glow, Stranger Things. I've been watching Riverdale. Netflix has been having a really good string of shows. I think it's helped that they haven't just been tied to a network. Networks are kind of falling behind. They have some outdated ideas that I think are hurting them. But a lot of the current stuff that I watch is like reality shows, like America's Got Talent, America's Next Top Model, Face Off, Master Chef, um, Rick and Morty. I watch Rick and Morty. That's the scripted one. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I just watched this isn't a current one, but I just watched Man to Man with Dean Lerner, which is the spin-off they did of Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. It was really funny. I love Dark Place. Dark Place is the funniest show I've ever seen. And I highly recommend it. But I hadn't seen the spin-off. I'd heard bad things about it, like it wasn't as good. And past the first episode, like I had to get used to it, the format with the laugh track and the audience and stuff. But once you get past that, I mean, there's some really good material. And the guy who plays Garth Marenghi, I don't know the actor's name, but he's really good. Like he came up with all these different characters to play. It was all him, and they were all so distinct. And he did fantastic work. Over the Garden Wall. No, I haven't seen that either. We'll play a game called What Hasn't Allison Seen? Many things. I'm looking forward to watching this thing that I got. Oh, well, I can't watch this copy because it's smooshed. American Black Beauty. It's another crummy Dean Stockwell movie I got, but this came in the mail just crushed. Like, it looked like the mail truck had run over it. I have no idea what happened. The package had grease on it. The DVD was half sticking out because it was ripped open. I have no idea why they thought this was acceptable to deliver. It was so smooshed that the DVD was broken. You see that? Like, it's all chipped. Yeah. Like, it's unplayable. But luckily, it only cost like $2, 5 after shipping, so I just ordered another copy. Not a very expensive film. But I look forward to watching it. It looks like crap. It's from the director of Kickboxer, or Kickboxing Academy, which stars a real-life brother and sister in romantic roles. So that was badly thought out. But the problem with Black Beauty is that it was too British. So let's set it in America on, I don't know, someone's ranch. Apparently, I don't know, there's a couple other horse movies that they're advertising on the back. Dean Stockwell's got a soul patch in it. He's got like the little. Not his worst facial hair, I gotta say. There's been some tragic ones. Have I watched other Channel 4 comedy series like Mighty Boosh, It Crowd, or Snuffbox? No. Um, I don't watch a lot of British TV. It's very hit or miss for me. Though I did watch quite a few things when I visited London. Um, I'm spacing on the names of all of them now, but there were quite a few like talk show, game show type things. They just have the celebrities talking about silly stuff. That was really entertaining. They had some fun ones. Are we going to call you Alison Pregler now, or still Lupa? You can call me whatever you want. I usually just go by Allison in the videos now, but I mean, Obscurus Lupa is what I'm known for, so whatever you feel like. You didn't get why Dean Stockwell didn't have a more illustrious career. Um, he did. I think he did. I think he had like a few careers, like he had like when he was a child star, I mean he was huge in the 40s, 50s. Um Anchors Away. I mean, those were all huge hits. And he was nominated for an Oscar when he did Married to the Mob, and Battlestar Galactica got a lot of praise for him as well. So I think he's done really well for himself, actually. I think maybe the reason he's not been like, you have like A-list stars that are in like a ton of things and a lot of get a lot of awards and stuff. Like I think maybe the reason why that's happened is because um I think he didn't want that. I think he's just wanted to do what he wanted to do. Because I know when he was a child star, he didn't like it. Like he was treated badly by other kids. He wasn't allowed to be a kid because he had to be working all the time with adults, and it was very upsetting for him. And when he became an adult, he decided to do things his own way. And he said in interviews he didn't enjoy acting until he was in his 50s. So I don't know if being like a huge A-list actor was ever one of his goals. I think he just needed work and then found that he was good at it and then found that he enjoyed it later and just wanted to do things that he enjoyed. So that's another long spiel about Dean Stockwell. He looks so dreamy in those gifs of him when he was young. He was pretty good looking when he was young. I think he's pretty good looking when he's older, honestly, but that's my opinion. But yeah, he had like that James Dean quality. I know he didn't like that compared. People compared him to him a lot. They wanted him to do like a James Dean biography picture as well, a biopic, but he didn't want to do that. Yeah, he had like stages. There were like there's a little cherubic angel Dean Stockwell when he was a kid with little chipmunk cheeks and big curly hair, and then he was sort of like clean cut, McHandsome in his 20s, and then when it got into like the 70s, he had like the the big bushy afro hair and the mustache and kind of troll looking, and he was doing a lot of drugs, and there was that stage. And then when he kind of, I think when it hit the 80s and 90s is really when he just sort of hit the Dean Stockwell most people are familiar with. The Dean Stockwell we all know and love. Did you get any awards for Paris, Texas? No. But I think that was the start of his big comeback, because Harry Dean Stanton is a friend of his, and they'd worked on other things together. There's like a group of them that were all friends, like them and Dennis Hopper and Russ Tamblyn. Um, and they were all friends. And Dean Stockwell was not acting at the time. He'd gotten a real estate license to sell real estate, and he was going to just move his family out and just start doing that. But when they were doing Paris, Texas, Harry Dean Stanton was cast in it, and he said that he would do it, but he wanted the guy to play his brother to be someone that he knew, and that he was familiar with, and knew could do it. And he said he wanted Dean Stockwell to do it, and so he helped him revitalize his career again. He was excellent in that too. That's one of his best acting performances. For both of them, actually. They were both really great. You're always impressed when child actors turn out well. Yeah, they had it rough. They really treated child actors badly, especially back in, 40s, 50s. They had contracts with them that like kept them at the studio, and for like ridiculous periods of time, and they wanted them to stay innocent, so they wouldn't let them interact with like kids of the opposite sex. They wouldn't teach them about sex. The girls, they wouldn't even tell them about periods. They had a school on the lot at MGM where they just didn't teach them very well. Dean Stockwell had a reading problem. Like he had trouble into his 20s with reading comprehension because of that. And obviously this continued into the 80s, 90s. Where children were exploited a bit. Not all of them, but it's rough. I'm very proud of all the child actors that were able to get out of that. Explosive, you're using the stream to calm down from the impending hurricane. Gosh. I'm sorry, I'm talking about depressing things. Ugh. I hope you're okay. You're around Florida? I'm waiting for their answer. I don't want to move on until I find out. Talk to me, explosive. Explosive. Okay, well they're I don't know, doing something. Yeah, they're in Tampa and they're back. Oh gosh. Be safe, all right? Man. Yeah, sending everyone, just send prayers, good thoughts, whatever you believe in for to the people in Florida and everyone affected by the natural disasters going on right now. You're in a hotel in a non-flood zone. Good, good. How's the... Oh, thank you, Explosive. How's the mystery of the Lint portrait coming along? It was for a TV show. Yeah, I did a video update on it. I found out it was from an unaired pilot for Ripley's Believe It or Not. They filmed one in 1994 that Dean Stockwell hosted that it's not on IMDb. I just found it listed in an old fanzine. And Ripley's confirmed that it was them that commissioned it. And fingers crossed, I do have a friend who has some connections who has talked to some people, and they are actually looking into who owns the rights to this. So it's possible, it's a really long shot, that I might be able to see this pilot. I'm really hoping I can, because I want to see it in action. I want to see the portrait on screen. But I'm really happy to know where it came from now. And I loved the Dean Cain Ripley's Believe It or Not. Apparently there was a Jack Palance one as well that I didn't know about from the 80s. And I guess in the 90s, or 1994, they tried to get another one going that just didn't happen. I gotta rewatch that. I haven't watched that since I was a kid. But it was fun. Radu review of the pilot. Man, If I could just get a copy of it at all, that'd be a miracle. You love my interior decorating skills? Thank you. I got one of those pillows with the sequins where you can drag your fingers across it and it's got a different color on the other side. Those are so fun. Look at that. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, it's super cool for people who are possibly ADD like me and need to have their hands doing something. Fun stuff. By the way, while we're doing recommendations, I just got these M&Ms, cookies and Scream. They are so delicious. They taste like Oreos. So good. I got those at Target. I didn't see them at Walmart. Target's really good about the festive M&Ms. Like, they'll usually have the really gimmicky stuff, so I found them there. But if you can get them, you should. Rad style in everything I do? Oh, thank you. That's really nice of you to say. Lint Art Woman is an amazing artist. How did she come up with it? Well, I've looked into her too. I'm totally spacing on her name. But the Lint Lady, she started because she just had like a lot of laundry and a lot of like dryer lint, and she was just kind of annoyed with it and wanted to make something useful out of it, out of something that was an annoyance to her. And she's done like other mediums as well besides lint, dryer lint, but that's how she got into it. And people give her donations of dryer lint. That's how she gets all the different colors. Like, she keeps them all like in categories and I don't know, she just keeps them all in like sections by color. And yeah, there was an interview I read with her about it, so I don't know, if you like look up like Lint Lady or whatever, you should be able to find some videos on it. And she talks about her methods and her inspirations. She's done a lot of pieces on her. She did like a series about her mother that was really interesting. That was I think her mom had some sort of like declining health, and so it was sort of like her at different stages of her life and things that were a little more meaningful, said the Lint Lady. So yeah, and she just seems like the sweetest lady. I emailed her back when I first got the lint portrait just to ask about it, and she answered really quickly, and she was very sweet. So nothing but nice things to say about her. And she's got a lot of work in the Ripley's museums as well. She gets commissioned for it. She's got some prestige. So I'm glad that this all led to this all these very interesting facts and people. You used to watch the Jack Palance Ripley's? I've gotten a lot of people saying they're really nostalgic for it. I'd never heard of it, and I feel like I should have mentioned it in the video. I just didn't know that there was yet another Believe It or Not series, so believe it or not, I guess I learned something. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I'm sure there's some copies of it somewhere. Slater Baron, yeah. Yeah, that's who it is, Slater Baron. That's the Lint Lady. She's got an awesome name. If I thought about doing some interviews again like I did with the Sinbad crew, you know, I have anxiety about talking to people, and especially people that like are industry people. So I did those because mostly because they kind of came to me first. Robert Chapin was the one that first contacted me in the comments and said, you know, he had some stories about it, and so that kind of gave me the courage to talk to him, because I just really wanted to know about that movie. That movie was a mystery, and I loved figuring all that out. But so that led to, like, you know, interviewing him. Some other people came forward, and that's why Dion, shoot, I'm spacing on her name, the producer, when I talked to her, and Anthony Delonges, which was really cool, even though my audio was very terrible. So anyway, I guess long story short, I did those because they came to me first, but honestly, my anxiety's so bad, like, I don't want to seek out interviews. I don't think I would do another one unless it was just an opportunity I couldn't pass up, and that's really the reason that I did those ones. But I don't find that I'm, like, great at interviews. Like, me talky, not good. So when I'm like on the spot like that, I don't know, I kind of like get in my head about stuff, and those were really difficult for me to do, as fun as they were. So, and it helped that the people I was talking with, they were really good storytellers, especially Robert Chapin, who's been nothing but kind and supportive. But yeah, I guess in the future, if there's ever an opportunity that I really need to get into, maybe I'll interview someone. But you remember Jack Palance being referenced in MST3K? He was in one or two of them. The Outlaw of Gore, I think, is the name of the movie. Oh, that fantasy one. Where Jack Palance has got, like, this ridiculous hat on. So funny. I think he was also in that Zombie Nightmare. Was that him? A zombie one? He was in a couple. Jack Palance is great. He was great in City Slickers. And City Slickers 2. City Slickers 2 is not a great movie, but he was good in it. Any more crossovers with Brad planned? I love you two together. You have such good chemistry. Thank you. I do have a couple I want to do. I've been planning to do Color of Night with him for a while now. That was the erotic thriller with Bruce Willis and Scott Bakula. Scott Bakula's he's not in it too much, but an insane movie. Really hilarious. So I want to talk about that one with him, and we're also going to do one on Blue Velvet. Someone suggested it, and I thought, you know, why not? It was a really interesting movie, and it's one of Brad's favorites, so I think it would be an interesting video to do. I just have, like, other things that I on my plate right now. Like, I got all the Halloween ones that I'm going to do, and finish up videos for this month, so it might not be for a little bit, but I do want to do those. Adam West was in the zombie one? Okay, I thought maybe Jack Palance was in it too. I guess it was something else. Oh, Angel's Revenge. Okay, that was the other one. Bruce Willis and Scott Bakula do not bang in the erotic thriller. But they do have some dude bro time. They're just a couple of psychologists doing psychologist things, like biking together and talking about their dicks. Scott Bakula's got, like, these biking shorts where you can, like, see the outline of his package. Like, it's quite an outfit. And spoiler alert, Scott Bakula dies in this movie in the most ridiculous overdrawn death scene ever. Fantastic. And it was his first death scene that he'd ever filmed, I believe. I was reading something about that. I think in that same fanzine that talked about the Ripley's pilot. So, what a first death scene to film. Have I heard of an American hippie in Israel? No, I haven't. I have heard of Forbidden Planet. I've been to Forbidden Planet. I don't know if I went to the NYC one, though. Maybe. I'll probably go for another 20 minutes or so, guys, and then call it a day with the stream. Unless something really exciting is going on, because I don't want to draw this out, but I'm glad to be able to hang out with you guys. Sex and Psychology reminds me of Tender Loving Care. Have you still flashbacks? You know, it is kind of similar to Tender Loving Care. It's the sexy thriller that was prevalent around that time. Yeah, I mean the erotic thriller genre definitely has a lot of themes that continuously happen in them. But Color of Night is an insane movie. I mean, even as far as like erotic thrillers go, like bonkers. So yeah, I'll be happy to do a video on that because there's quite a lot of things happening. Have I ever seen The Craft? Yeah, The Craft was the first R-rated movie I ever bought. I think maybe the first DVD I ever bought, actually. I mean, it's only rated R, I think, because like one F bomb, and it's because it's teens and magic or whatever. But yeah, I love The Craft. I haven't watched it in a while. I should rewatch that. Maybe now that Halloween's coming up. Anything new going on with the channel? Well, I covered some of this earlier in the stream, but I've just been plugging away. I'm going to be working on Mikhail's Navy next, and I probably go into the Halloween videos after that. I want to talk about Psycho 2, Bates Motel. I don't want to list everything in case I rearrange what I'm going to do, but those are some things that I want to talk about. Yeah, just going along. Any movies coming out the rest of this year you're excited to see? I don't know, I'm excited to see it. So that I'm going to see right after the stream, really. I don't know. I don't go to the movies that often, honestly. I usually watch things at home, so I don't know. I go to see riff tracks. That's the most of the time that I get out of the house and go to the movies. Erotic thriller month. Yeah, that could be fun. I've got at least one other one. Love Kills. It's got Virginia Madsen, the lady from Candyman. She's the star of it. I saw it because Kate Hodge is in it. She plays her friend in it. Um, yeah, that one. I think there was material in that one. It's been sitting on my shelf for so long, but it has a lot of the kind of silly twists that erotic thrillers from the early '90s have. You're surprised they didn't do a sequel to The Craft? Yeah, you would think. I feel like The Craft is directly responsible for Charmed. Charmed wanted to be The Craft and Buffy, is what it was. I mean, certainly the cover of How Soon Is Now from The Craft, they used it for the theme of Charmed, specifically because it was in The Craft, because there's nothing to do with magic, really. But I don't think it needed if they told me they were doing a sequel to Craft, I'd be like, it doesn't really need it. It was a good movie. I liked it. But I don't really feel like there's anything else to cover. How is Charm season 9 going? Well, it's not currently. I hit the 1K milestone on Patreon. But once the new month rolled in, like I always lose some people, so I guess I should have been a little more patient with it. But it went underneath the goal now, so it's not at 1K anymore. So once it hits it again, I can get started on Charm Season 9, but it's not quite at the milestone anymore. And I don't, like, say that to be greedy. Like, I'm not like, oh, but you guys need to give me more money. It's just because the Charm videos took a lot of time to do, and it takes time away from other projects, and I want to make sure that I'm not just half-assing it. So if I'm going to be doing a big project like that, it would be less videos that month. So that's why I'm trying to, I set a higher goal for it so that I would be able to take that time and not worry about a set amount of videos for that particular month. So that's kind of where it is. I should probably write a post about it and let people know about it, but it's still going to happen. Oh yeah, they did have an unaired piloted Charm, didn't they? I don't remember if I saw it or not. I think I did. It had a different Phoebe, right? I think maybe it's on the DVD set. I could be wrong. Am I going to be in Brad's disco thriller? Yeah, he said he has a part for me, and I think he was talking about filming this month. I think. It's not like, it's a smaller part that I'm doing, but I'm going to be in it. Yeah, and I saw the disco that he has rented out for, and it looks great, so it's going to be cool. Lori Rom played Phoebe. Yeah, I do recall that was a thing. Yeah, and she wasn't as good. I mean, I realize like I've given Alyssa Milano a lot of crap, but like in the beginning, like her character was solid. Like the first 3 seasons, 3.5 seasons, like they were decent. They weren't like the characters became, where they were just a bunch of hags, you know. I did like them as characters, even though it was silly. Phoebe, Piper, and Stephanie all combined their voices. Who would win the "It's All About Me" fight? Well, it's got to be Phoebe. Sorry, Phoebe. Phoebe is the all-encompassing, ego-driven maniac. So yeah, she's got to win. No Daryl in the unaired pilot. Well, I mean, Daryl wasn't really until they killed off the boyfriend character for Shannon Doherty. Daryl really wasn't much of a presence. He's just sort of there. Boy, am I excited to get to him when I get to Baywatch Nights, because man, tremendous. His character, they never explain him. They never. It's just this contempt for the audience. Where they're like, we're just not going to tell you what's going on. You're just going to have to guess. Oh man, I'm a cop. Don't want to know. Don't want to know. I wonder what they did with him in the comics. Ooh, I hope they do some cool Daryl stuff. I've only skimmed some things that happen in the comics. I know that they bring Prue back, but they don't have the likeness rights for Shannon Doherty, so it's like Prue in another body or something. I know they do some kind of cuckoo stuff, which seems honestly not that out of the norm for like comic continuation seasons, because I read the Buffy season 8, and man, that was a bunch of horse shit. So and I'll have to like rewatch the videos, refresh my memory about all the things that were going on in Charmed, but I'm excited to get to it. need to make sure that I'm actually at the milestone before I actually start them. Don't want to know. I don't want to know. I bet that actor's a fun guy to hang out with. He seems pretty chill. I did enjoy seeing him in the crowd in a random Baywatch scene too before he was in Baywatch Nights. He was enjoying that concert. If Phoebe was a lifeguard on Baywatch, she might be worse than Eddie in a completely different way, of course. Well, she wouldn't want to save anyone. She'd just be like, well, how does this affect me? I can't save anyone. If I save anyone, then I might not be able to save anyone. It's just going into the Stephanie voice. What was the Phoebe? The Phoebe voice was a little different, I think. I don't know. It's been a while since I've done the charm voices. I've tried to kind of make a distinction there, but it really is just sort of a charmed one voice. I only got so many voices in my repertoire, okay? I guess spiritually they're kind of similar characters. I mean, honestly, like, Stephanie was a more selfless character. She's just more of a know-it-all than a selfish person. Though I do kind of characterize her that way, as like wanting it to be all about her. Alexandra Paul seems like the nicest person out of the Baywatch cast. Like, see, she genuinely just seems like a very sweet person. Yeah, any interview that I've seen with her, she's always just been very, very cool. Mm-mm. You guys like looking at the cat tree in the background there? It's all part of my cool interior decorating. You know, the last time I did one of these streams, someone stole it and re-uploaded it. I re-uploaded a bunch of my stuff. I'm like, why would you steal a stream? Hasn't she been arrested a few times during animal rights protests? Alexandra Paul? I haven't heard that. Could be. I know Pamela Anderson's big into, like, PETA and stuff, but I don't know how involved she's gotten besides some, like, ad campaigns and stuff. If I consider going back and reviewing more Cynthia Rothrock movies, yeah, I have some. They've just been sitting there, but I always just end up not getting around to them. It has been a long time since I've done one. I have some that are sitting around on my list. There was a really funny one she was in that was called Manhattan Chase with Lauren Avedon from No Retreat, No Surrender 2, that episode of Baywatch about kickboxing. And that movie was shot so badly. I need to actually get a copy of that. I've seen it, but I don't have a copy, so yeah, maybe I should do that one, because that was good watching. There's a chase scene with Cynthia Rothrock where she's on, like, a scooter. Like, she can just be faster on foot, but she's like, I gotta use the scooter. 8th anniversary. Cynthia Rothrock? A talking Cynthia Rothrock? Yeah, I think the last one I did with her was Santa's Summer House. She was in an erotic thriller, but she wasn't the star of it. It was she just did it, like, as a favor for someone. Like, I think the director was a friend or something, and so she just cameos in it. Like, she's the girlfriend of the main guy in it, and she doesn't do any any martial arts. I think until Santa's Summer House, that was the only one she did where she didn't do any martial arts or anything. I think maybe it's called Fatal Passion or something. It's like there's this crazy lady who does paintings with the blood of her victims or something, so there's a lot of like sexy painting scenes. That one I haven't seen in a while. Maybe if I do that erotic thriller month, you know. Maybe after Christmas, maybe make January. I don't know. I don't know with the ad revenue situation. I don't know if erotic thrillers are the way to go currently, but there are ones I'd like to cover. If Mitch and Phoebe had an "it's all about me" fight, patriarchy versus matriarchy, my save versus my love life, it would be the perfect storm. Ooh, yeah, I can sum it up better than that. But you know, I feel like Mitch is a little more selfless than her, because at least he did save people. He did like the attention, but he at least genuinely seemed like he wanted people to live. And I don't know if Phoebe did. And I've made jokes about Mitch and the matriarchy or what, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like maybe he felt like he was pretty equal opportunity. Lucy Lawless was once arrested during a Greenpeace protest. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know she's been big into like environmental issues as well. I've seen some videos and stuff. She seems like another person that's like, she really cares about like real world issues and getting involved, and yeah, she seems really nice. Yeah, Mitch cared about his kid. Yeah, if Phoebe had a kid, good lord. Well, I guess she did have some at the end, but yeah, certainly Piper didn't give a shit. Mitch cared about his kid because he made him look younger. And then that's why when he grew up, they kept like teasing him adopting other children that disappeared after an episode or two. They bring back that little con artist kid. That's the little girl from Thunder in Paradise, and they talk about him possibly adopting her, but she ends up going with her grandparents or something. And later on, I think in the 9th season, Mitch adopts a little child who is just not seen again. Like, oh, and he's a really good dad. Are there any more Neil Breen movies you want to talk about? Yeah, pretty much any of them. I'd like to talk about Double Down because it's gotten some attention. There's also one he did where he's some like alien omnipotent god or something called I Am Here ... now. Yeah, and the first one, Fateful Findings, did really well. So yeah, I would like to cover them, but yeah, probably again when Phelan's around, because that's one that's, man, there's so much to cover with those. It's just non-stop things to confuse and baffle you. Well, it's getting to be around 2 hours, so if there's anything else that you guys are dying to talk about or want to know, let me know now. Otherwise, I think I'm going to wrap this stream up. It's been great talking to you guys. I hope that everyone that's like trying to wait out the hurricane, you know, like I hope that everything's okay. Stay safe. I hope that you find some things to keep yourself distracted and have a good time while you're trying to wait it out. Not stress too much. And thank you so much for all of your support. I wouldn't be able to do any of this without you guys. You're really great. Okay, I think everyone's asked all that they want to ask, so I'm gonna call it a day. Alright, bye guys!